Russian man like inside the dark, call me Bill Snatcher. Just the brother for the rapture. I hang live, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a garden and start killing. It's manifesting. The God's work like appliances, dealing in my sight like a lot.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another discussion for Boruto Naruto Next Generations, Chapter 68. And now that Chapter 68 is done in the books, we got a lot to talk about. So obviously, if you've not seen the chapter review, check out the chapter review because we went really in depth over the chapter. This is going to be another discussion discussing more of the fallout from the Boruto manga chapter, in particular when it comes to what's going to happen with Boruto now that he said he wants to master Momoshiki's power. I kind of feel like this is a setup for the focus of Boruto's time skip training. And I gotta say, for one, I like this idea that if Boruto does end up training with Sasuke for however long the time skip is, if it ends up being only a few months or it ends up being 2.5 years like it was with Naruto when Naruto left to go train with Jiraiya for 2.5 years, or if it ends up being even longer than that. I like the idea of Boruto spending time with Sasuke, even though it will be something that happens off screen, and having Boruto train to master this power, because this is the thing about Sasuke. Sasuke's been looking into the Otsutsuki clan for so long, for so many years, and he's read those scrolls and documents that I would think that somebody like Sasuke would be able to start the process of pointing Boruto in the right direction on how to fully master that power, because Naruto right now, Naruto can't take up that time with Boruto simply for the fact that Naruto, being the Hokage, having to do those day-to-day duties, Naruto, while he has fought multiple Otsutsuki, Naruto isn't going to have the time to spend time with Boruto. Yes, he can make shadow clones, but as we've seen in Boruto, due to the sheer number of shadow clones that Naruto's been using and how long they've been up, that's not necessarily something that will work. And given Boruto's prior behavior when it comes to seeing that he's interacting with a shadow clone and not the real Naruto, that'll be something where I don't think Boruto will be too pleased with. However, getting the time to spend time one-on-one with Sasuke and have somebody as strong as Sasuke that can continuously spar with them, I think that's a good way to start the process of leveling Boruto up, because Boruto's training with Sasuke would not be like what you saw with Naruto and Jiraiya, where Jiraiya had to reteach a lot of the basics to Naruto, stuff like teaching Naruto how to break out a genjutsu. That's not anything that Sasuke would have to waste time with Boruto. And so that gives you a really good opportunity where Boruto shows Sasuke, like, this is what happens when I use the Karma Seal. This is what happens when I try and use the true essence of Karma. Sasuke is also strong enough where if Boruto goes into that Borushiki transformation, if he loses control and Momoshiki attacks, Sasuke's strong enough and skilled enough that he should be able to subdue Borushiki. I think that there's enough room there to where you could really have Sasuke be the one that's able to fight against Boruto. I think that that is something where if they go through the training, there's enough risk there to where the reward is going to be worth it. And you also have the opportunity to really kind of pay off a few other things, because every time Boruto's trained directly under somebody like Sasuke or Kakashi, Boruto has developed an overpowered jutsu. Under Sasuke, he developed the Vanishing Rasengan. Under Kakashi, he developed the Compression Rasengan. Now you have the opportunity for Boruto to be working with Sasuke, learning what it means to protect the village from the shadows, and also have Boruto continue to develop other jutsu alongside Sasuke, maybe even jutsu that is tied into those Otsutsuki genetics inside of his body. That is something where it is definitely worth it. And taking things a step further here, I think one of the potential benefits that you have to Sasuke taking that time to train Boruto is that Boruto gets to learn to use his sword. We know based off of the flash forward sequence that that's something that's going to happen. I kind of feel like that's going to be a situation where, very similar to how Sasuke popped up in the time skip and he had a sword and was just super skilled at it, I think that's likely going to be something that happens with Boruto. We're not going to see actual sword training. It's just going to be a skill set that he picks up when we get to the flash forward sequence. However, if he trains with Sasuke, that gives you a really good opportunity to explain why he's so skilled at it. And like I talked about a few videos ago, having Boruto double down on learning how to use the sword in battle and only using chakra to boost his physical attributes and saving ninjutsu for a last resort option, that is something to where it keeps Boruto's chakra levels at a bare minimum above what they need to be before Momoshiki takes over, which is a reminder because I had quite a few of you guys in the comment section say to me, Momoshiki can't take over Boruto's body. That is not true. If you go back to the manga, Momoshiki was stated by Amato that he cannot resurrect into Boruto's body. However, Momoshiki can still hijack Boruto's consciousness. And so that need for Boruto to continue to be aware of his chakra levels and find ways to prevent Momoshiki from taking over, that's still there. And I think that Sasuke is the best one that can help him master that demon that's inside of him. I really like where this is potentially going. And when you look at other things that Sasuke could teach Boruto, you have the opportunity for Sasuke to teach Boruto that lightning armor chakra cloak, because if you go back to the 5 Kage summit when Sasuke was fighting against the 4th Raikage, Sasuke had his Sharingan on for the entire time. So Sasuke more than likely has copied the mechanics of that. And when you look at some of the fights that Sasuke has had in the Boruto era, in particular that battle against Kinshiki, and in the movie version of Naruto and Sasuke versus Kinshiki, in the movie version you saw Sasuke and he has chakra all around him as he's zipping through the area. So you can make the argument that Sasuke to a certain extent at least knows how to incorporate that into his speed without it actually being a full-on lightning chakra mode cloak. I think that that is something where that can help Boruto. Granted, that consumes a lot of chakra, but when you add that with this swordsmanship and you add that with Boruto having the chakra control necessary to feed that chakra into his sword and make his slices a lot sharper, added on top of that with the speed, it opens up the door for Boruto to be a very deadly shinobi. And I think just adding even further onto what we've seen in the Sasuke Shinin, the Teacher Star Pupil novel, where Sasuke is talking to Boruto saying that you're a fine shinobi like my brother, would have been glad to see you in the progression that you've made in this time of peace. This gives a really good opportunity for Boruto to get more lessons like that, because the only thing that he's really missing from being able to truly be that Shadow Hokage that protects the village from the shadows is that true understanding of what the darker side of the ninja world actually encompasses. Boruto has a idea about it, but getting that time to learn from Sasuke, hear some of Sasuke's stories, hear more of what happened to Sasuke when he lost his way, something that the time slip arc briefly gave you an idea that Boruto might learn the truth about Sasuke, because Sasuke told Boruto in that arc that I was away from the village at the time, and he never really went any further into detail on that. Having Boruto be able to get that information and process it and realize that even a super awesome shinobi in Sasuke that he looks up to, even Sasuke was flawed. And if something happens with Kawaki where Kawaki ends up going on the wrong path, this does give a really good opportunity for Boruto to have something to weigh that against and to realize that not all hope is lost with Kawaki. I really feel like this time skip with Sasuke and Boruto, that training is going to be very crucial to Boruto's character. Now, for all we know, Kishimoto could just choose violence and kill Sasuke off or pull a Jujutsu Kaisen. If you read the manga, you know what character I'm referring to when I say that somebody ain't been in the manga for 2 years. So it could be a situation like that. However, I don't think that we're going to go that route just yet. But I want to know from you guys, man, what do you guys want to see Boruto learn from Sasuke in the time skip in terms of training? Let me know down in the comment section below. Do you guys think that it should be a mastery of the Otsutsuki power? But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.